Service centers. So one of the issues with service centers is it's actually an important business function, particularly in a medical school where there's a lot of service center activity. And the charges might not come through in a timely fashion. The best practice is to bill on a monthly basis to all the users, but there's a few things that influence that. The first is the service center itself might not have a formal system to capture and bill the charges. And the formal system could be an Access database with some sort of front-end data entry process. It might be an ad hoc process. Animal facilities, if they're still using cage cards or not updating the barcodes, there might be some delay in updating that information, so they're capturing per diem costs on old projects. The other thing, too, is sometimes the service might be started if you have a grant that starts, let's say, 7/1 to 6/30, a typical fiscal year for most institutions, and someone procures a service in March, and that's a 10-month deliverable, that something's in incubation. The question is, where does that charge, where does it belong? So one of the advice I give to service centers is when they're doing their invoicing, sometimes service centers can't collect from the grants because the service takes too long and it goes past the end date of the award. So the best practice is there should be some milestones. If there's something in incubation, you're using freezers, you might be using reagents, you might be having people looking at this and monitoring the sample. So there's different activity that happens during that, let's call that incubation period, that are billable events that most service centers don't do. So if you're on the back end, you notice service centers are billing late, these are some of the reasons that influence service center charges to grants.